So I made 280K quitting YouTube last year, but despite that crazy outcome, I realized that success isn't measured in just dollars and cents. And if I was actually going to sustain this long term, something had to change. And there's actually a completely different reason why I'm back here on YouTube. So now I want to cover three things in this video. Number one, why I quit YouTube. Number two, what happened in the past year. And number three, why am I back doing YouTube now in 2024? All right, so why did I quit YouTube in the first place? So I've been doing YouTube for about 5 years on off. Been on the platform for like 11 years or something. So the first reason I left YouTube was purely because I was trying to focus on two different things. So I had my personal brand, Andrew Films, and I had my business, Arise Digital. And in the past, I've always tried to jump between the two. Like I'd work my 9-to-5 job at Arise Digital, building the business, and then I would kind of step out from that and jump into my personal brand, Andrew Murphy Films. But I could never really do two at the same time. And what I always found is that when I focused on my personal brand, the business would kind of crumble. And then I focused on the business, my personal brand would crumble. And I could never have two things at the same time. And the main reason was because I was trying to do everything myself in the business. It was just me solo operating. I had to do everything from start to finish. And it meant that if I stopped doing anything, everything stopped in the business. And that was one of the huge goals for 2023, was to start getting some more help so I didn't have to do everything myself, and we could actually start to grow a business that wasn't so reliant on me doing everything to begin with. And the third reason why I quit YouTube was I was really unclear on exactly what I wanted to make. Like I've been doing camera reviews and gear reviews and tutorials for so long. And the end of 2022, I decided to change up my content style. When we did the short film in 8 hours or whatever it was for the Surrey lens, and I really enjoyed that style, but the amount of time I actually just spent making that bit of content was so long. Like I think I spent like 2 or 3 weeks making that, and that's what I wanted to do. But to make that sustainable for, a weekly upload or a fortnightly upload, which is not going to work when I wanted to focus so much time on the business as well. So then because I had my heart set on making that kind of content, and I realized that I couldn't actually do that on a consistent basis, everything just kind of crumbled and fell away, and I just decided to not do as much because I wanted to focus more of my attention on the business. So now since I actually quit YouTube and I started focusing my attention on the business, what's actually happened in the last 12 months? So firstly, I've gone from basically being a sole operator, a sole trader, a videographer in my business, and now we scaled to a team of 6 of us, which is super duper cool, super duper fulfilling, and I love the team that we've built here at Arise Digital. The second thing is I'm no longer actually shooting the content myself. So one of the biggest handicaps with me being in the business was that if I had to go to the shoot, everything stopped again. Like all the operations would stop because it was just me doing everything. And the first person we decided to bring on was an editor, because that was the easiest thing to outsource and to teach as well. And honestly, when I brought on our first editor, I had so many control issues, because when you give something away to someone, when you delegate a task, there's always that thing inside you where you're not sure if it's gonna come out the way you expect it to. And I feel like the first hire or the first time you delegate something, for me anyway, was really hard because I'd never allowed someone to take on a part of the process and really give them the opportunity to actually own that part. But what I end up finding is that when I delegated the editing to someone else on the team, it meant that it freed up a lot more time for me to at that time shoot more and also chat to more clients to bring in more work for the business. And now fast forward 12 months, I don't actually do any of the project work. I have to jump in here and there every so often to help out, but my main role in the business is client acquisition and client success. So I make sure that our clients are happy, I make sure the team has a lot of work, and then they take on a lot of the process. And again, this was a huge struggle for me. Handing over the shooting was the hardest thing I think I've ever done in the business, because editing, at least if something goes wrong, you can fix it. With shooting, if something goes wrong, it's very hard to fix without reshooting it. But the thing is shooting would take up majority of the time in the business. Like a shoot takes what, 8 to 10 hours or something. So if you're doing 3 of those a week, you've literally lost 3 days dedicated to just shooting, when you could spend that time actually chatting to new clients, new leads, and bringing in more work for the business. And there is literally no chance I wouldn't have been able to do that without having a team supporting me to be able to do this. But unfortunately, What happened end of last year is I was so focused on the business side of things, getting new customers, trying to build the team, trying to scale. It lost all the fun. And we got to the end of last year and I was super duper stressed. I didn't really enjoy what I was doing. And we're kind of like struggling through November, December because it wasn't the business that we thought it was going to be. The main reason I started YouTube all those years ago was to have a creative outlet where I could do something without any consequences, without any expectations, and I could try things just because I wanted to try them. I'm a strong believer that you shouldn't test out stuff on paid shoots. I don't think that's a very good way of going about it. I know some people that do and they get good results, but the worst thing is going to be is that if you test something and it doesn't work and it's on a paid shoot where there's expectations to perform, that is just so stressful. And I do not want to put myself under that kind of stress. But because I quit YouTube, I lost that avenue to do those, fun creative projects where I could just do whatever I want, and became very serious and very focused on just growing and scaling the business, which in itself can start to get a little bit repetitive and a little bit boring. So that brings us to here, which is the fact that I'm now back on YouTube. And the main reason is that end of last year, I made a conscious decision to start having more fun in my own life and in my business, so I don't get to the same stage that I got to end of last year, where we built this awesome thing, but I really didn't enjoy coming to work every day because it just felt like it wasn't the thing that I actually wanted to be doing. And since choosing to have more fun, I've been way less stressed in the business. I'm having way more fun. I felt like the team's having way more fun as well. And we also had the biggest month we've ever had in our business to date. And I believe it's just all a combination of these things coming together. So the main point here is to just have more fun. And that is now one of the core values in our business as well that we want our team to actually embody, because we're having more fun every day on the projects that we do. Number one, we're gonna have way more energy. We're actually gonna enjoy coming to work. And we're also just gonna be able to get better outputs because our client's gonna have more fun and we can just see things way more clearer when we're not stressed on everything that has to get done in a day. So that's it. I'm back on YouTube. We're going to be uploading more consistently this year, and I'm going to focus on allowing myself to have this creative outlet while also not allowing the business to crumble and fall, because we can build systems that work for myself and also in the business as well. So that's it. Have fun. We'll see you on the next one.